It's a rival game everybody wants to see. The Mississinewa Indians and the Marion Giants square off for the Sectional 20 Championship in Class 4A. Kickoff is moments away, but first, let's start the Meijer pregame show. The Meijer pregame show starts now.
A chance for redemption, a chance to be one step closer to Indianapolis, and a chance to be sectional champions for the second time in 3 years. Although Coach Funk and the Indian football team are excited to be here, they haven't overlooked the Marion football Giants. Two talented football teams and two powerhouse offenses clashing in one setting tonight at the Dick Luton Stadium. They always say defense wins championships, and if you look at both of these teams, defense is written across their jerseys. So with that being said, we have 48 minutes to decide who plays on and whose hearts become broken. May the best team win, and they celebrate with their community. And may the other team not hang their heads because they have fought the good fight. And at the end of the day, someone has to win, and someone has to lose. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dick Luton Stadium for tonight's Class 4A Sectional 20 Championship matchup between the visiting team, the Mississinewa Indians, and the host of tonight's football game, the Marion Football Giants. Hello once again, ladies and gentlemen. Dalton Bishop alongside Ryan Scott. Ryan here tonight, two of the very best football teams in Class 4A and in the state of Indiana. They compete for the Sectional 20 Championship trophy, but only one of these teams gets to play next week.
For sure, it's the round of 16, or the round of 16 rather. Who wouldn't want to be here just because it's 25 degrees outside? Two of the best football teams in the whole state of Indiana squaring off for one title. Dalton, we are going to take a look at the Class 4A presented by the Indianapolis Colts. Let's take a look at Sectional 20. Of course, you see Mississinewa and Marion, but if you move up a sectional, at Sectional 19, the winner of this match will advance to the regional championship and will play the winner of East Noble and Leo.
And absolutely, and what a great two football teams that is in East Noble and Leo. And you know, Ryan, what an atmosphere it is here tonight at the Dick Luton Stadium. Packed house up here in the press box, packed house across the way for the Mississinewa fans, and on this side, purple and gold represent the Giants.
Yeah, for sure. We are going to jump in right at scheduling for both teams. We'll start off with the Marion Giants.
Yeah, Ryan, taking a look at the Marion Giants, 9-2 on the year. Craig Chambers in his 7th year overall, 57-25. His 4th year at the helm of the Giants, 34-12 in his time here at Marion. Of course, last year we all know Marion went on to the semi-state. What a great football team that was. So we'll set you up and you know how we got here for the Giants. For Marion, they started off their year playing Eastbrook in Class 2A. They defeat the Panthers 35-19. One of their two losses comes in week 2 of the football season to 6A Lawrence North, losing that match 35-8. Then they go on a winning streak, Ryan, before they lose their next game, which was on October the 18th to 5A Harrison, losing in a shootout 49-42. They opened up sectional competition at Fort Wayne. They won that match very easily, 48-19. Last week in a bizarre game, they beat New Haven 27-12, and here tonight they match up with the Indians.
Yeah, for Mississinewa is under the direction of 10th-year head coach Kurt Funk. He sits at 76-35. Dalton, before we talk a little bit about the Mississinewa schedule, you and I have said it before, Coach Funk is a coach that just doesn't lose.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Funk in sectional competition in 10 sectional games, he is 8-2. He looks for number 9 here tonight.
For sure, Mississinewa again comes in at 10-1. And let's take a look at their sectional and how they got here. Their only loss was to the CIC rival Eastbrook in week 4, 14-21. The rest of the sectional and how they got here, they beat 4A Delta 17-7. They beat Huntington North at Huntington North 4A 30-6, and then they follow up with the Sectional 20 Championship, and you are about to watch this year. Well, we're going to step aside for 60 seconds and come back with more of the Meijer pregame show. This is Mississinewa Indians football pregame on the Tribe Sports Network.
Welcome back once again to the Dick Luton Stadium as we get you set up for tonight's Sectional 20 Championship matchup. Ryan, taking a look at both of these teams in the state of Indiana, the Marion Giants, 67th best team in the state. That obviously goes on the coaches' polls and all of that, but they are 67th in the state, and in Class 4A, 14th overall.
Yeah, for Mississinewa, they are ranked 59th in the state of Indiana and 11th in their class.
Go ahead and take a look at some of the team numbers for the Marion Giants coming into tonight's game, averaging 266 rushing yards per game, passing yards per game. They're at 96 passing yards per game, so that adds up to probably about almost close to 400 yards per game as a team. Taking a look at tackles per game, they average about 32 tackles a game, a sack a game. Points per game, 30 points for the Giants, Ryan. Taking a look at the Indians.
For Mississinewa, coming in at 282 rushing yards per game. Passing yards per game is 59. Total yards per game is 341. Tackles per game is 78. Sacks per game is 1, and they are averaging 39 points a game.
You know, Ryan, that's a stat that kind of stands out to me. You look at both of these teams, very high-scoring teams,
sure.
But, you know, on paper, Mississinewa has the upper edge, but you know, it's sectional football time, so you never know what's going to happen from here. Going ahead and taking a look at the individual player numbers for the Giants, Khalid Stamps, 137 rushing yards per game. He's going to get most of the workhorse for the Giants. Passing yards per game led by their quarterback, number 1, Keyshawn Taylor, averaging, of course, 90 passing yards per game. Total yards per game, Keyshawn Taylor overall has the most total yards per game as an individual, 170.6 yards per game. Tackles per game, Juan Carlos Ramirez at 10 tackles per game. That is pretty good there on the defensive side for Ramirez. Sacks per game, that led by number 59, Johnny Davis. And points per game, Khalid Stamps, of course, leading the Giants there.
For Mississinewa, the senior Cade Campbell is leading the team in rushing yards at 154. Passing yards per game is led by the quarterback Ethan Bennett with 51. Total yards per game is led by number 35, Cade Campbell with 162. Tackles per game is led by number 17, Kyler Funk with 11. Sacks per game is led by number 5, Jaheim Johnson with .5, and points per game is led by none the other, Cade Campbell with 12. Well, we're going to step aside for 60 seconds to continue more of the Meijer pregame show. This is Mississinewa Indians football, live from Marion.
Welcome back once again to Marion, Indiana, as we continue with more of our Meijer pregame show. And Ryan, you know, we talk about the team's losses. Mississinewa 10-1 on the year, Marion 9-2. Kurt Funk in his 10th season at the helm of the Indians, 76-35 in his 10th year here. Craig Chambers in his 4th year as the head coach for the Giants, 34-12. You look at these teams and you look at the losses. Mississinewa, one loss on the year came on September 13th to Eastbrook, 21-14. On the other side, Marion defeats Eastbrook to open up the season 35-19. That is something that stands out to a lot of people. But Ryan, we saw the same thing with the first week matchup in sectionals with the Indians and Delta, some quality opponents there, and it didn't really seem to stop the Indians. So do you really base it off of looking on their schedules?
I tell you what, you know, that's a great point. And when you can see that they have played, you know, tougher opponents, tougher teams, I mean, it even boils down to tougher coaches as well. But, you know, I think this it could kind of lead into the Delta game, you know, how you're low scoring and everything like that. So I think this could lead into another Delta game. You
know, Ryan, looking at something very interesting for Mississinewa, and I only say this because I had the chance to add it up. You take a look at September 13th when they lose to Eastbrook. Since losing, they have scored 294 points and have only given up 41 points in 7 weeks of football. 41 points given up in 7 weeks of football. I know I know Coach Funk smiles at that stat.
Yeah, for sure. And, that's what he preaches. If you can keep a team to low numbers, Coach Funk is just going to be a happy coach.
You look at that, but then you look at the other side of the football field, just a very good defensively team in the Marion Giants. That is a very well-coached team by Craig Chambers, and they don't give up very many points either. That is a great football team. They held New Haven to 13 total yards in the first half last week.
Yeah, for sure. Marion can, like we talked about, they're defensive good, but, offensively they're twice as good. So, that is how, I wouldn't say as much discipline as Marion is, but that's how they run their game.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Ryan, me and you both had the opportunity yesterday afternoon to stop by the Indian practice, and I know you were there a little bit more than I was, just the way things worked out. What were some things that you saw from them yesterday afternoon?
I tell you what, we'll talk about this later in the pregame show, but coming back and taking it back to tomorrow, I saw focus in all the players. There wasn't, I wouldn't say goofing around. They were just all focused. They know how much this means, and it's especially a rival game. Who wouldn't want to be focused on a rival game?
There was something, again, that stood out to me yesterday afternoon. I had the chance to stop and check out some of the practice, and I heard Coach Funk tell them, you're good enough to beat anybody in Class 4A in the state of Indiana. If you play Indian football, you will have no problem. And I guarantee you, Coach Craig Chambers said the same thing to the Giants. Both of these teams are very equally matched up on paper.
Yeah, for sure. And this is one great point that Coach Funk made. You and I both have heard it from him the past few days. He said, guys, if you want to move on and you want to play over Thanksgiving break, we have to leave it all on the line here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that he says that. And I know probably just about 95% of coaches say it. If you want, if you lose, you want to go out losing knowing that you gave it everything that you had, 110%. So, very interesting. A very interesting matchup here tonight. I'm very excited. I can't wait until we get things going.
Well, we're going to step aside for another 60-second break and come back with more of the Meijer pregame show. This is Mississinewa Indians football, live from Marion.
Welcome back to the Dick Luton Stadium, home of the Marion Giants, as we get you set up for tonight's Sectional 20 championship matchup. And Ryan, I know I had the chance to look at John Harrell, and if those of you who are unaware of who John Harrell is, he does predictions for every game throughout the state of Indiana, high school, football, and basketball. So if you want a prediction from someone, go to John Harrell and check it out. Well, Ryan, John Harrell says tonight's game is going to be Marion 31, Mississinewa 28.
Yeah, for Max Preps, Dalton and I, we definitely don't agree with this. They're all high-scoring games. In our opinion, you'll hear it later on, is it's going to be a low-scoring game for us. But for Max Preps, they have Marion 41, Mississinewa 40. Now listen to that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be low scoring. And Ryan, we are getting things opened up, opening ceremonies. So let's take a timeout and we'll come back when those have concluded.
Welcome back once again to Marion High School as we are 6 minutes away from the opening kickoff here in Marion. Hello and again, welcome to Marion High School for tonight's contest. I'm Ryan Scott. Alongside with me is my broadcast partner for the 4th year in a row, Mr. Dalton Bishop. Dalton, we are 6 minutes away from one of the biggest showdowns in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, and we are very, very fortunate to be able to have the opportunity to do this for the 3rd week in a row in sectional competition. You know, Ryan, it doesn't happen very often where, you know, your school or your team that you are rooting on gets to play in the 3rd week of the state tournament, and so we are very fortunate to be able to be here tonight.
For sure, the Indians are making their way on to the field as we speak. The Indian fans are loud and louder.
Yeah, so, you know, Ryan, your keys to victory for tonight's game.
Keys to victory for Mississinewa is you have to play smart football. We talked about it all week long. Smart football wins ball games and keep the ball on the ground.
You know, for Mississinewa defensively, you've got to be able to contain J.K. Thomas. You know, he gets out in the open, and it's see you later touchdown. So you got to contain J.K. Thomas, but Khalid Stamps too. You know, he can break out a big play, but Keyshawn Taylor kind of concerns you as well. So there's really 3 guys that really concern the Indians.
Yeah, for sure. And we talked about this again is 2 teams, 2 powerhouse offensives. 2 to 3 guys on each team that can really run the ball, and that's going to be the winner for this whole game.
Yeah, you know, absolutely. And it's a pretty cold night, but, you know, nonetheless, a great crowd here for both sides, really. So it's a really neat atmosphere. And, you know, the Giants, as they are getting ready to come onto the field. But you know what, Ryan? You look across the side, you know, from where we are sitting, and there are red and white that fill the entire bleachers.
Yeah, I tell you what, I do not see an open seat across the way, and they are starting to line up the fence right now. So it's great to have a lot of Indian fans here supporting the Tribe as they try to advance to next week's regional.
Yeah, Ryan, and you know, it's really neat to be able to, like I said, for the 3rd week in a row, to be here. You know, I can't say it enough. We are very, very fortunate to be here, and it's unbelievable. You know, this is 2 of the best teams in the state of Indiana, and they are clashing, like I said, for 1 trophy, and unfortunately, one of these teams has to be done for the season and start preparing for basketball, and for the other team, you know, congratulations, you get to play for the regional.
For sure. Both principals of both schools, Keith Burke for Mississinewa and the one and only Steve Quater, helps presents the game ball for tonight's championship.
Yeah, you know, it's, you know, that what a sight there at center field. You know, they shake hands and the game ball's here, and, you know, 3.5 minutes, and you know what, it's showtime from there.
I tell you what, that is great sportsmanship by both principals. I tell you what, both principals know how important this game is, how much of a rivalry it is, but comes together for the game ball was something cool to see.
You know what, Ryan, let me tell you something. As much as these 2 teams say that they are rivals, you can say it and you can say it all you want, but at the end of the day, both of these teams respect each other because they know that this is 2 great football teams, and like I said, you know, one team is going to come out on top tonight, but that doesn't take away from the talent of the other team.
For sure. It's plain, right, simple. It's going to be one heck of a football game tonight. The Indian fans are fired up. Coach Funk is jumping up and down.
I'm fired up, Ryan. I can't take it.
I don't know if Coach Funk is cold or he's excited, but he's one of the 2, and we are 2 minutes away from the opening kick here in Marion. We'll step aside for 30 seconds and come back. Indian fans are fired up here in Marion. Welcome back to downtown Marion, Indiana, as we are set to kick off sectional number 20 in the championship round. Again, if you are just tuning in to tonight's broadcast, we welcome you. I'm Ryan Scott. Alongside with me is my partner, Dalton Bishop, the call of the game for you tonight. And on these sidelines tonight, bearing the cold weather in the 23-degree weather, Mr. Riley Fuquay. The Tribe Sports Network is represented well here in Marion, and like to give one more thank you, Mr. Brooks Holloway, for all he does, as he has spent some long hours as he has helped the Tribe Sports Network gear up for Sectional 20 Championship. And this is just one event of many for the Tribe Sports Network and TribeTV. Veterans Day is Monday, and that's where the rest of the TribeTV guys are right now, setting up for that. The coin toss is coming up.
You know, Ryan, before they do the coin toss, I saw nothing but focus out of Coach Funk's Indians.
I tell you what, they were on the sideline. We didn't get really to it in the pregame show, but all during their pregame, during their warm-up, they didn't really say anything. They weren't yelling. They were pure focused.
You know, the coin toss is at midfield, and so, you know, we will see who wins the toss here. The toss was won by Mississinewa, and they have deferred to the second half, which means the Giants have elected to kick the ball, and the Indians are going to start on offense. So right away, we're going to see what the Giants are made of defensively, but offensively, we'll see what the Indians have.
Yeah, for sure. Look at the Indians, Dalton. They are fired up.
You know, this is big for both teams. A lot on the line here tonight, Ryan Scott. And we are just a seconds away from it being showtime here in Marion, Indiana for the Class 4A Sectional 20 Championship.
I tell you what, anybody in red, anybody in white, anybody supporting Mississinewa is focused. Dalton, you look to my left, you're looking at our calling room. Look how focused they are.
You got it right. You know, the coaches to our left from Mississinewa, Ryan, to our right, the coaches for the Giants. It is dead focused up here for those coaches.
For sure, they know how much this means, and everybody knows how much a rival game means. We are seconds away until the boot kicks it up.
You know, I thought that the Indians were going to receive. That's, I believe, but I misunderstood. The Indians are kicking off, and back deep to receive the kick for the Giants is number 11, Khalid Stamps, and number 12, J.K. Thomas, the two workhorses for the Giants, and Andre Soliday wearing number 14 with a mega boot, ready to send one deep.
For sure. Marion sends two in the backfield. Andre Soliday sets. He is getting ready, and the knees have had it. Andre Soliday puts it up, and it is high or is low, and Marion will run it back.
This is Keyshawn Taylor around the outside to the 30 and runs out of bounds. And the ball is going to be marked at the Giant 32-yard line, and that's where they take over on offense. And here comes Coach Funk and the Indians on defense. You know, Craig Chambers has worked hard all football season long and just this week alone preparing the Giants for this moment. But on the other side of the field, just the same for Kurt Funk.
For sure. Let's see if the Indians can get a good stop here. Not letting Marion get good yardage and not getting good field position. So let's see what the Indians D can do here.
Here's Keyshawn Taylor in the shotgun formation. Two receivers to the far side, two on this side. J.K. Thomas, one of them. Khalid Stamps in the backfield with Taylor. Taylor looking, takes the snap, hands off. This is Stamps, and he is met at the line of scrimmage by a couple of Indians, and I believe Skylar Tackett leading the charge on that one.
I tell you what, that is a good stop for the Indians. A great first play, and that's positive for the Indians.
You know, correction on that one. That was 78, not 79. Garrett Johnson leading the charge there. Brings up second down for the Giants. It's 2nd and 8, a gain of 2 for Stamps. Taylor again in a shotgun formation. Stamps to his left. Here's the snap. Turns around, hands off. Here's Stamps. Going to try to break it to the outside. And
he'll be dropped down.
He's going to gain about 4 on that one. And John Hall there to make the tackle for the Indians. It brings up 3rd down, and a huge 3rd down early in the game for the Indians.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what the Indians wanted. That's exactly what Coach Funk preached all week, is you have to get big stops, and that's what they are doing here. 3rd
down and 4 yards to go for the Giants. J.K. Thomas yet to touch the football. Keep an eye on him in motion maybe. Here is Taylor back. He looks to pass. under pressure. Now he's going to keep it and be dropped down, and that was Jaheim Johnson there to make the tackle for the Indians.
I tell you what,
and it brings up 4th down.
I tell you what, a great stop for Mississinewa, and it will force a 4th down.
That means the Giants will come out into the punt formation, but you do not want to fall for a fake punt here. That would be something disastrous early in the game for the Indians. So the Indians up to play as if the Giants are going for it, but they do send Cade Campbell back to receive the punt. J.K. Thomas to punt for the Giants.
Mississinewa will have one in the backfield.
Here is Thomas. Takes his time and will punt. And it takes a giant bounce and will bounce and roll all the way down to the Indian 14-yard line. So the Indians take over, 3 and out defensively for the Indians, but guess what? The Giants get their chance now.
Yeah, let's see what the Indians offense can do here. And like you said, if we get it to the brother duo of Caden and Carson Campbell, it's a track meet, and see you later, Alligator.
So we will see what is in store for the Indians. You are on the Giants' home field. What better start would it be to rush down the field and get a score, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown?
For sure.
But here we go. The Indians on offense. Ethan Bennett, the quarterback, is going to be under the center. A fullback of Kyler Funk and Cade Campbell, the tailback.
Ethan Bennett will hand it off. Goes up the middle, a gain of 1, and it will be dropped out.
So there you go. You know, like I said, this is going to come down to who can hold out
Most
defensively
definitely.
the entire game.
Indians will line up on 2nd down.
It's going to be 2nd and 9. Only a gain of 1 for Cade Campbell, who had 250-plus rushing yards in week 1 of the tournament.
The ball will be placed on the 15-yard line. Ball will go up the middle and will be dropped down.
That was Cade Campbell again on the carry, and a gain of 1 or 2, and it's going to bring up 3rd down. So the defenses of both teams coming out hot and heavy early.
It'll be 3rd and 7 for Mississinewa.
So now Cade Campbell going to take a breather for this play. Bennett under the center. Carson Campbell in motion. Bennett going to roll out, hands off to Carson. He goes up the middle, breaks a tackle.
He breaks a tackle. Oh, no, it can be a track meet. And they are dropped down just past the 50.
So Carson Campbell breaks out a big one and takes it down into Giant territory. It's going to be a 1st down and 10 for Ole Miss.
A great run for the Tribe. This is exactly what Coach Funk wanted, and the Indians have good field position here.
So the first down of the game for either one of these teams, and the Indians down into Giant territory on the Giant 48-yard line. Bennett under the center, Carson in motion. Hands off, this is Cade Campbell. He breaks a tackle, a gain of 3 or 4 on that one. So the Indians marching down the field.
I tell you what, a great play here. You didn't get exactly what you wanted here, but you still have 2nd down. You're in good field position here.
So it's going to be a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 for Ole Miss. Bennett under the center. Kyler Funk, the fullback. Cade Campbell back in the game at the tailback position. Now the Indians hand off. This is Campbell. He breaks one around the outside to the 40, into the 35, and gains a gain of probably 13 or 14. So Cade Campbell on the carry. 1st down for the Indians.
Tell you what, 1st down after 1st down after 1st down. If the Indians can keep doing this, they are in good shape.
So, you know, the Indians front line doing a great job, Ryan. We talked about it in week 1. They do not get as much recognition as they deserve, but the front line is what makes that run game so good.
A gain of 13 for the Indians. Ethan Bennett.
Wing T formation. Tay McClung on the carry and a gain of 1 or 2, possibly 3, but nonetheless, the Indians got some weapons offensively who can run the ball.
For sure.
David Jones on the tackle for the Giants. It's going to be 2nd down and 8 for Ole Miss. Ball on the Giant 30-yard line. So, like I said, Ryan, what a big momentum shift would that be for Ole Miss. So, again, in the same formation.
It'll be 2nd down. Ball will be placed on the 30-yard line. Ethan Bennett awaits. Ball will be going up the middle to Cade Campbell. He pushes through it. He'll be dropped down at the 20.
So, a gain of at least 12 and a 1st down again for Mississinewa. First down and 10 on the Giant 20-yard line.
Exactly. This is exactly what we talked about, Dalton. If the Indians can get first down after first down after first down, it could be little yardage, but every little yardage helps here.
I'm telling you, the Indians looking good so far. Hands off. A pitch out to Campbell.
Cade Campbell goes out the outside. He keeps on going, and he knocks out of bounds.
A gain of 10 again for Ole Miss. It's going to be first down and goal on the Giant 10-yard line. I'm telling you what, Ryan, I have not seen the Indians start a game like this in quite some time.
I tell you what, it goes back to them being focused until game time, and this is exactly what it shows. It's a timeout, Marion.
A timeout, Marion. 7:03 left to go in the opening quarter, and the Indians are first down and goal. Ryan Scott.
This timeout is brought to you by Grant County State Bank, proudly serving Grant County for over 70 years. Marion, Sweetser, and Swayze growing in our community. Welcome back to Marion High School as we continue with the first quarter, 7:03 to play, and the Indians are looking hot.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Ryan, Marion's defense still not gone away, but here you go. Andrew Cruz in at quarterback now. He's going to keep it up the middle. Cruz, a gain of 1 or 2 before he's nailed, and that was number 4 on the tackle for the Giants, Tyvon Coleman, I believe. There's 2 numbers as, number 4, but that was Coleman there. I believe the Indians got the first down there. They were short the last time, so that is first down and goal. Bennett back in at the quarterback position. John Hall to his right, and now we have a timeout by the Indians. So 6:50 left to go in the first quarter, and we are knotted up at 0, but the Indians are first down and goal. And Ryan, so far, the Indians' defense looking strong, the offense looking strong, and Marion kind of looking around like, oh my, what's going on?
Yeah, if we can have one of each, it's perfect. But obviously, you want a stronger offense and defense. But hey, defense is doing well, offense is doing well. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Welcome back to Marion High School as we continue with the first quarter. 6:50 left to play, and the Indians have good field position.
So Ethan Bennett going to go under the center again. He's going to turn, hand it off to Cade Campbell, follows his blockers. He's up the middle to the 5, down to the 2, maybe the 3, and it is second down and goal for the Indians, a gain of about 5 or 6.
He will be placed at the 3rd-yard line, and the Indians have even better field position here.
So here we go, the Indians knocking on the door of a touchdown here, but the Giants defense may have a goal line stand. Cruz in at quarterback now. He's going to go under the center and take the snap and dives forward.
And it could be a touchdown. It's a touchdown, Indians.
So Andrew Cruz on the quarterback keeper, a gain of 2 yards, and the Indians are the first on the board, up 6-0, and a PAT to come, and Andre Soliday will do the efforts.
Andre Soliday will attempt to put it in the parking lot.
So just what you wanted if you're an Indian player or fan. A stop, 3 and out, and marching down the field for a touchdown. Now Soliday will line it up. Ludke takes the snap. It's down. The kick is right down the center, and it's 7-0 Ole Miss. 6:19 left to go in the opening quarter. Mississinewa 7, Marion 0. When we come back, the Giants will get a chance to march down the field and match it. We'll be back in 30 seconds with the kickoff. This is the Class 4A Sectional 20 Championship live from Marion High School.
Welcome back to downtown Marion. The Indians are up 7-0 with 6:19 left to play in the opening quarter. Andre Soliday will set for the punt.
The Indians still got to keep up defensively. Here we go. So it's J.K. Thomas, Khalid Stamps back to receive as you would expect. And Soliday, here he goes. The kick is high and in the air and fielded by number 24, Braxton Delgado. And a fumble on the field. Let's see. I think it's still going to be Marion football. But that ball got loose, and the Indians had a chance there, but trying to do something a little bit different there. And the Giants, here they come on offense. Can the Indians make them go 3 and out again? That is to be determined.
Ball will be placed on the 42-yard line. Indians almost force a fumble, but Marion will recover, and they will take over for the second time.
The Indians go 86 yards on that last drive, Ryan, offensively. And here come the Giants. Khalid Stamps in the backfield along with the quarterback, Keyshawn Taylor. J.K. Thomas to this side, 2 receivers to the far side. Taylor, a man in motion. That is Delgado. Takes the snap.
Goes up the middle.
That is Stamps out in the open, and he is going to march down into Indian territory, a gain of probably 18, and Bryce Lutke there to make this tackle for the Indians. But nonetheless, here come the Giants rolling back to Indian territory. So here we go.
Second down on the 43, man in motion, goes up the middle, takes it on the outside, and will be brought down.
Stamps again, still moving, and he is knocked down by number 15, John Hall, a gain of 8 or 9, and it's going to bring up second down and 1, maybe inches for the Giants. So just like that, a score from the Indians, and the Giants not happy, so they come right back at you. So he did get enough for the first down. First down and 10. Ball is placed on the Indian 32-yard line.
It's a first down. The chains will move.
Trip receivers to the far side, 1 to this side. Taylor takes the snap. This time he's going to keep it. And he is going to be ran out of bounds by number 1, Caden Cole. But a gain of probably 8 on that one. Going to bring up second down and 2.
Second and 2. Indians need to stop so they can not force another first down for Marion.
I told you defense is going to be key in this game. Second down and 5. Here is Taylor. He's going to keep it up the middle. He's got some room. He's down to the 10, to the 5, and he will march into the end zone. And just like that, the Giants come marching right back at you. A touchdown for the Marion Giants. 5:22 left to go in the opening quarter. Mississinewa 7, Marion 6, and Kyle Correa coming to the field to attempt the PAT. So just like that, Ryan Scott, when you want to stop,
for sure,
they come right back at you.
This is how it's going to be the whole game. One team's going to go for a touchdown. The other team's going to do the exact same.
The kick is up and dead center. So with 5:22 left to go in the first quarter, we are tied up at 7 apiece, and the Indians get a chance to come back on offense. We will come back in 30 seconds. This is the IHSIA Class 4A Sectional 20 Championship live from Marion High School.
Welcome back to Marion High School as we continue with the opening quarter. It's all knotted up as 7 apiece after a good run by Marion for a TD.
So Correa to kick off to the Indians. True casting on, back to receive, and here comes the kick. The Giants do the same thing, and John Hall with a fair catch, and the Indians take over on offense on their own 44-yard line. So after an 86-yard drive for the Indians, the Giants come marching back down and a touchdown, and it is all tied up at 7, and Ethan Bennett leads the offense back to the field.
See what the Indians can do here. See if they can get some more good yardage here, even if it's a little at a time, to go into the red zone.
It's actually going to be at the Indian 36-yard line where they take over. Ethan Bennett going to be under the center. Kyler Funk in at the fullback position. At the tailback is number 35, Cade Campbell, a tight end, Caden Cole, and Andrew Cruz. Campbell around the outside. The ball is loose. And the Giants have recovered, and for Coach Funk and the Indians, that is disastrous. So the Giants recover on a fumble and a chance to score. They are deep in the Indian territory, and the purple and gold fans rise to their feet.
Tell you what, this is exactly what you do not want as the Indian Nation. You don't want to force those little things. Those are little mistakes that the Indians just made there.
So just like that, you can't get down on yourself. You still have got plenty of football to play. You want to stop here defensively. So Keyshawn Taylor back to the field along with Khalid Stamps. This side you have J.K. Thomas, Braxton Delgado, and I believe Josh Balfour. Now a fumble for the Giants. Stamps, he is out and running. Jaheim Johnson chasing him down, and a flag going to be called. I believe it's going to be a block in the back, possibly a hold on the Giants, so do not get your hopes up too soon.
See what the official spots it as.
Look at that.
Holding.
It's going to be holding against the Giants. So holding against the Giants. That one's coming back. No, it's an illegal block in the back. It's kind of hard to see from our vantage point what that call was, but a wonderful change of events really quick. Campbell fumbles, Giants recover. Stamps fumbles, but they recover, fortunately for them, so they still get to keep the ball on offense, but they lose some yards on the block in the back. First down and 20 on the Indian 35-yard line. So now
ball will be placed on the 35. It's second down.
It's J.K. Thomas at the quarterback position. He takes the snap, going to roll out to pass. He is under pressure from Cruz. The ball is thrown and caught by Braxton Delgado. He slides out of bounds at the Indian, I believe, 24. Second down and 11. So a nice pass there from J.K. Thomas. A beautiful placed ball to Braxton Delgado. Thomas again at the quarterback position with Khalid Stamps in the backfield. D'Angelo Jones out wide along with Braxton Delgado and Javion Davis. So here comes the snap. Thomas
ball will be placed on the 27, goes up the middle and a short run and a gain of 1.
So that was Stamps on the carry. He was brought down by number 17, Kyler Funk. Ryan, we talked about in the pregame, Kyler Funk going to have a big game here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. He's one of a few players that has to have a big game for Mississinewa.
Multiple seniors on this football team who were a part of the sectional championship 2 years ago as sophomores, so they know how to get it done. But right now, you've got to worry with J.K. Thomas and Khalid Stamps, and now Keyshawn Taylor in the mix. So Thomas has not yet carried the ball.
Third down for the Giants.
J.K.
Thomas at the quarterback position. He pitches it off, goes to the Mississinewa sideline. He trips, and will the ball be placed down? Yes, it will.
So a huge break there for the Indians because I believe Stamps was going to get out and definitely get the first down, but he falls down, and a break for the Indians brings up fourth down for the Giants, but they are in four-down territory. I guarantee you they're probably going to go for it here. I don't know that Courier can kick an almost NFL-sized field goal here, but the Giants going to go for it. So J.K. Thomas in at quarterback. Trip receivers to this side. You've got Josh Balfour, Braxton Delgado, and D'Angelo Jones on this side with Javion Davis to the far side. Thomas looking. He gets the snap, rolling out to pass. Under pressure, will throw.
And it'll
pass will be too strong and fall out of bounds. Andrew Cruz and Kyler Funk on the pressure for the Indians. So when you turn the ball over, you get a stop, and then now the Indians take over on offense.
Yeah, this is great for the Indians to see what they can do here, see if they can get into the red zone once again.
One heck of a football game here so far, and very, very interesting. We are only in the first quarter, Ryan Scott. We have got the blessing of watching 3 more quarters of this. This is absolutely awesome.
Current temperature is 21 degrees here in Marion.
So here we go. In the backfield is Campbell. Bennett under the center. Funk at the fullback position. 2:53 left in the opening quarter. Hands off. This is Cade Campbell. He's around the outside and then absolutely brought down hard by number 9. That was David Jones on the tackle for the Giants. Campbell gets by him. It's probably see you later, but a good play there for the Giants.
It'll be second down. Ball will be placed on the 25-yard line.
Gain of 5 there for Campbell. So here we go again. Bennett under the center. And he turns around, hands off. This is Cade Campbell, I believe.
It's a gain of 3 or 4. And it'll be third down. And let's see where they spot it.
So for Mississinewa, third down, but this is when they made noise the last time, was on third down. They had a huge run from Cade Campbell. 2 minutes to go in the opening quarter. We are
third
here.
and 1 for the Tribe.
Here we are at Marion High School. This is Bennett. Turns around, hands off.
And he will get the first down.
I don't think he got it, Ryan. He was hit at the line of scrimmage. I think he is a yard short still.
Yard short.
They might call it, but from our vantage point, no way. They do signal first down. So
it's a first down for the Indians.
So Cade Campbell, the workhorse for the Indians here tonight so far. But do not count out little brother Carson. He had a big run earlier.
See what the brother duo can do.
Bennett takes the snap. And I believe a false start, maybe an offside, but definitely probably going to be a false start. False start against the Indians.
Yep.
And I don't know in high school if it's 10 or 5 yards. So it is a 5-yard. So first down and 15 for Mississinewa.
15 to go.
Hands off. This is Cade Campbell.
He's on the outside. It could be, and he runs out of bounds.
So he runs right at D'Angelo Jones, and a gain of 15 and a first down for the Tribe.
And the Indian fans are fired up. Coach Funk is fired up. And let's see what the Indians can do here on first down.
So just like that, Ryan Scott, when you are in a position where you're backed up deep, Cade Campbell bails you out once again. But the offensive line doing a great job holding the blocks. Bennett going to go under the center again. Looks to the left, looks to the right, hands off to Campbell. This time he dives forward and a gain of about 3. Bring up second down.
Second down for the Tribe. Let's see what they can do here. Andrew Cruz will step in for the Tribe.
Unofficially, Ryan, in the first quarter, Cade Campbell, 77 rushing yards. Turns off a pitch. This is Campbell.
Pitch to the far side, to the home side. Campbell will redirect and we brought down.
So Campbell brought down. Number 17, Brendan Martin on the tackle. The 6'6", 220-pound senior for the Giants. 20 seconds and counting, and I think the Indians are probably going to let the clock run out. So as the time rolls down at the end of one quarter, we are here in Marion, Indiana for the Sectional 20 Class 4A championship matchup. At the end of one, it's Mississinewa 7, Marion 7. We come back with the second quarter in 1 minute. This is the Sectional 20 championship coverage live from Marion High School.
Welcome back to Marion High School as we start the second quarter. Indian fans are roaring to life.
Ryan, 12 minutes left here in we'll have the first half in the books. The first quarter seemed like it just really flew right by.
It for sure did.
So
We would like to see where you are watching from. If it's a hotel room or out of state, we want to see your watch party. Hop on Twitter and go hashtag TribeTV seat, and for your chance to have your name announced on the broadcast. The Indians will send players into motion. Goes to up the middle, and
Cade Campbell brought down very, very quickly. That was number 23, Marquise Smith, on the tackle, and the Indians forced a punt. The Indians tried to go to the Wildcat formation, which worked very, very well for them in the first week of sectionals, but right there, no way, said the Giants.
It'll be second down, or fourth down, rather, for Mississinewa.
So Soliday to punt. Back to receive is J.K. Thomas and number 13, Jordan Fuller.
2 in the backfield for the Giants. Andre Soliday will call for it.
And
it is up, and it is low.
The ball will bounce and be out of bounds at the Giant 30-yard line, I believe. They're going to mark it at the 32, so that's where the Giants will start this offensive possession. Well, Ryan, we saw this in week 1 of sectionals with Delta for the Indians, back and forth defensively, and then the second half, the Indians, was like a fire lit up in that locker room. They came out with the guns blazing, but, this is a different week and a different football team you're playing, a team with a lot of speed, and very challenging to keep these Giants in control.
Yeah, for sure. It's challenging when you have both teams that have speed on both sides.
So here we go. Keyshawn Taylor will look. He hands it off to Stamps, and he is brought down by number 5, Jaheim Johnson, but a gain of 5 for Stamps. It's going to be second down and 5 for the Giants. Defensively for the Indians, Tay McClung, a corner to the far side. Drew Cassadon, Caden Cole on this side, the safeties. Bryce Ludke, Carson Campbell, linebacker, John Hall, Kyler Funk, and a handoff.
Marion takes it up the middle, and a gain of, 1 or if not any.
That was Stamps, and he was brought down by John Hall, Kyler Funk, and Jaheim Johnson there to meet him. Elijah Standers enters the game, and Jason Arbogast flying off the field. You gotta love the effort from the lineman. Third down and 2. A huge defensive play here. Here is Taylor looking, will take the snap, turns around, hands off to Stamps. He's got the first down and more, breaks a tackle, spins through, and is out to the 50-yard line, a gain of 9. So the Giants a first down. They are at midfield now. Here is Taylor. Will look, and the clock's running. Takes the snap, hands off. Stamps up the middle, hit hard by number 17, Kyler Funk, and he goes down hard. And Funk having issues getting up, and he gets up, but you can tell that one shook him up. He got hit hard there, but he put a hit on Stamps too. But man, oh man, Funk got the wrong end of the stick on that one. So Funk shooken up on that one.
Second down, 5 to go for the Giants.
Stamps comes off the field. That one may have rung his bell. Here's a handoff to number 5.
Goes to the home side and will be dropped out.
I have no clue who number 5 is. We do not have a name for him. But that was Burnett, the last name on the carry. Let's see if he is listed, and the Giants have a first down on that one. But
he is not listed.
Yeah, I do not see a Burnett listed, so we're sorry about that. 9:15, clock still running. Tied at 7. Taylor will take the snap. He will keep it, pitch it out.
And the ball is loose, and it rolls out of bounds.
The Giants are going to lose yards on that one, actually, Ryan, because he pitched it backwards and it rolled out of bounds, so probably losing 2 or 3 on that one.
Should be 3.
But for the Giant fans and the team, over here, Khalid Stamps getting checked out by the athletic trainer. Second down and 14. They lost 4 on that one, Ryan. So the Indians backing them up a little bit, but on a Giant mistake. So now for the Indians, you've got to capitalize on that mistake. Here comes the snap. Taylor turns around, hands off to Burnett. He bobbled it a little bit, got it under control, and he gets the 4 yards back. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 or 11, and Khalid Stamps right back onto the field. Burnett coming out.
It'll be 3rd down, 14 to go.
You know, Ryan,
for the Giants.
Something interesting, J.K. Thomas yet to run the football.
Yeah, you would think you'd see that a little bit earlier than what we have been, but yeah, like you said, he has not ran it yet.
So here we go, 3rd down and 11 for the Giants. Taylor takes the snap, turns around. No, he's going to pass, and he threw the ball low and out of bounds, brings up 4th down. Pass intended for number 12, J.K. Thomas. See if the Giants go for it or if they decide to punt. It looks like they're going to punt because Taylor coming off the field. They're going to try to pin the Indians deep in their own territory. You know, for the Indians, you hope this one maybe bounces too far and goes to the end zone for a touchback. And, you know, for J.K. Thomas and the Giants, he hopes this one falls and just lands right at the 1.
One in the backfield, that'll be Carson Campbell for the Indians. The punt is up by J.K. Thomas. It is high and short. And
this one takes a Indian bounce and bounces back towards the Giants. So the Indians will get the ball offensively at their own 24-yard line. You know, while we have a minute, I want to say congratulations to Marion's Ellie Vermillion on the commission to Indiana Wesleyan University. She will play basketball there next year, so congratulations to Ellie. And I also want to say congratulations to Laura Friday picking up her first varsity win as a head coach of the Mississinewa Lady Indians basketball team. They defeated Northfield last night, 51-33, and they are back in action tomorrow.
Yeah, you can catch that game live as Dalton and I tries our best to translate from football one night to Indiana High School basketball the other night, but you can watch that game live. Pregame starts at 5:45.
Cade Campbell on the carry and a gain of 1 or 2. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, if that. So
and it's getting scrappy.
So Brandon Martin on the tackle there, and the Indians in that wildcat formation that worked so well for them in week 1, but the Giants got a nice read on it here. It's just a matter of time, I think, before you see the Indians try to air one out. So Campbell again in that wildcat formation. Drew Cassadon goes to the far side with Carson Campbell. The tight end on this side is Andrew Cruz. Kyler Funk, the down man. He's in the backfield as well. So here you go, down to 9 on the play clock.
11 to go.
Carson
sends
in motion.
man in motion. Goes to the far side. He goes up the middle and a gain of at least 4.
So good block up front there by Jason Arbogast. He's doing a heck of a job holding off D'Angelo Jones, and, you know, brings up 3rd and 9 for the Indians. And Ryan, back to the field comes Ethan Bennett. So Coach Funk said, no more of that right now.
3rd down, 9 to go. The Indians need to get a first down here.
Heck of a job there by the Giants, holding up good on the defensive end. So Bennett under the center.
Carson Campbell into motion.
This is Carson.
Carson Campbell, he could be gone. It's a track meet, Dalton.
So Carson Campbell, just like that, he has 2 carries on the night. Both go for big yards, and the Indians go down into Giant territory.
And it's a first down, Indians.
So how about that, Ryan Scott? 3rd down and 9. Bennett sold the pass so well, and Carson Campbell gets a huge block from the offensive line, cuts around the outside before being forced out of bounds by Antonio Brown, the 5'11 senior.
It'll be first down. Ball will be placed on the 48. Sends Carson Campbell into motion to the far side. Goes up the middle is Cade Campbell, and he's going one-on-one, is dropped down.
J.K. Thomas on the stop for the Giants, but a gain of 5 there. So just like that, when the Indians look absolutely nonchalant, just like that, you know, Ryan, a good block and a gain by Carson. They fake it to Carson that time, and then his brother Cade gets the carry and a gain of 5. So
2nd down, 5 to go. Ball will be placed on the 43. Carson Campbell will sure go into motion, goes to the far side, hands it off to the far side, and will be dropped down.
He was brought down by number 10, Aiden Fisher. He got in the backfield really very quick. Aiden Fisher listed at 6'10", 170. I don't think he's much bigger than, 6'2", maybe.
3rd and 5 for the Tribe.
So the Indians yet to throw a pass yet. I thought maybe that on that 3rd and 9, Bennett was going to throw it. I was looking at him, and then I looked up, and Carson was gone. So
Indians need to get a first down here. Carson Campbell goes into motion to the far side. Ethan Bennett will sell it nicely, and the Indians will move down the field.
Cade Campbell on the carry. He's going to be short. It was a gain of 5, so they're going to be short about 2 or 3. Will Coach Funk go for it, Ryan, in this situation? I don't know if I would, but that's why they're down there coaching. We're up here running the chops.
Hey, one good thing is we're warm and they're not.
Yeah, I'm telling you, what a nice press box here for the Giants. I mean, beautiful press box. The Giant fans making noise on the other side. The Indian fans make some noise.
Carson Campbell goes to the far side. It will go up the middle.
I do not think he got it, so they turn the ball over on downs, and the Giants take over. So the Giants with a huge defensive stance there, Ryan, and like we said, it's going to be back and forth all night, and it is who can hold on at the end of the night. That's what matters.
5:05 left to play in the second quarter before we take the halftime break. It's all knotted up at 7 apiece.
Yeah, so now the Giants here on offense, and after 2 scores, early by the Giants and the Indians both scoring, now the defense is playing very well. This is Taylor going to keep it. He runs around the outside, gets a block, and he is brought down. They believe Elijah Standridge there to meet him. It was. So Ryan Scott, I just heard Jim Brunner say Leo up 7-0 over East Noble.
Tell you what, JB is fired up. We can hear him all the way across the press box. He is fired up. We're fired up, and the Indians are fired up.
Stamps on the carry, brought down by, I believe that was John Hall.
Going back to the Leo Lions. The winner of this match will play the winner of the East Noble and Leo game for the regional championship next Friday.
A first down there for the Giants. So now Taylor with the ball. The Giants have the ball at midfield. Taylor going to hand it off to Stamps. He was hit immediately by number 17, Kyler Funk. He read that one good, but Stamps so quick and so strong, diving forward for a gain of 2. Stamps. I'm telling you what, this is my first look at Khalid Stamps, and he is an absolute stone-colded offensive player.
Ball will be on the 47, goes up the middle, a gain of 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and maybe 6.
So Stamps, I think, got the first down before he was knocked down by Carson Campbell, but it is a Giant first down. Like I said, ice in the veins for Khalid Stamps. He is an absolute animal.
First down for the Giants.
So here we go. Taylor takes the snap. He's going to keep it now and be tripped up and staying on his feet. Breaks a tackle, and Caden Cole going to be on the stop there for the Indians. So if Cole does not stop him there, it's see you later and TD for the Giants, but that's a first down there for the Giants. And just like that, the Giants rushing into Indians territory, but like we saw on the other side of the field, the Giants made a stop once the Indians got deep. So now maybe the Indians can get a stop. If not, the Giants will go up at the halftime break.
And it could be a timeout. Timeout, Mississinewa. It's all nutted up at 7 apiece. 3:34 left to play. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Marion High School as we continue with the second quarter. It's all knotted up at 7 apiece. Again, we want to see where you're watching from, if it's in Florida in a beach, or if it's in a hotel room or even out of state or just in your living room, we want to see your watch party. Hop on Twitter at hashtag TribeTVSeat for your chance to get your name named on the broadcast. Hashtag TribeTVSeat for your watch party.
Well, Ryan Scott, you know, we've been talking about it all week long. Whoever has the ball, the other team's going to have to step up.
Most
and
definitely.
So far, both defensives has done a phenomenal job other than the one time where they've let the other team just get out and score. But, you know, that is part of the football, you know, season. You know, you're going to have ups and downs, but it's how you battle back to that adversity. And right now, both teams battling back very, very well after both teams scoring. So now the Giants with the football, 3:34 left to go in the opening half, first down and 10 on the Indian 28. Taylor turns around, hands off to Stamps. He goes up the middle, a gain of 3, and being brought down by number 72 for the Indians. That was Lucas Asbury, the 6'2 sophomore. So second down and 7 for the Giants. A huge stop there by Lucas Asbury.
Ball will be placed on the 25.
So now Taylor in the shotgun
J.K.
again.
Thomas to the home side. Goes up the middle and taken down nice and hard by Kyler Funk.
Are you kidding me? Ryan Scott, Khalid Stamps had no option. He got the ball and Kyler Funk said, sit down, buddy.
He gave him that chair and set him down.
My goodness gracious, Kyler Funk read that one perfectly.
And it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Giants.
My props go out to Khalid Stamps for staying in there and taking that one. I'm going to tell you, if that was me, the football would have probably landed in the other end zone. My goodness. So here we go. Taylor, and now a timeout by the Giants. 2:23 left to go in the opening half. We are knotted up at 7 apiece. We come back in 30 seconds. This is the Class 4A Sectional 20 Championship, live from Marion, Indiana.
Welcome back to Marion High School as we continue and wrap up the second quarter. 2:23 to play, and it's all knotted up at 7 apiece.
You know, Ryan, you look at these two football teams, and I see nothing but pure talent from both of these teams. You've got different types of weapons. You know, Khalid Stamps and J.K. Thomas absolutely are probably the fastest people in this entire vicinity. But on the other side, you've got, you know, defensively for the Indians, you've got weapons like Kyler Funk and John Hall who have almost 100 tackles apiece. So here you go.
3rd and 10 on the 28.
Taylor will look, takes the snap. He rolls out to pass. He's going to air one out. He's got Delgado a first down.
Yep,
and
first down.
It's going to be first down and goal for the Giants on the Indian 7-yard line. First down and goal. The Giants looking to score. That, like I said, Ryan, that is what you've got.
Exactly.
They have got their own separate weapons, and Keyshawn Taylor, as we know, can flat pass the football. You know, so here we go.
Ball will be placed on the 7.
He got out of bounds, so the clock stops. We're at 2:17. The Giants looking, takes the snap. Taylor, he's going to keep it around the outside.
And the ball is dropped.
It's
It
a
could be a
fumble.
fumble.
It's a fumble, but I think Taylor got it back, but Elijah Standridge there to knock the ball loose. A huge play by number 2 for the Indians, the 5'8", 180-pound junior. Elijah Standridge got in the backfield so quick, he looked like he was untouched. Man, if Standridge could have just picked that one up, what a huge, huge break that would have been. So now, a minute and 39 and counting. Taylor turns around, stamps, And he is going to break it around the outside and walk into the end zone.
And it's a touchdown, Marion.
So Marion is the second to strike. The Indians were the first to strike, and now the Giants strike for 2 before the Indians get another chance. 1:31 left to go in the opening half, and the Giants have taken the lead. It's 13-7, and on to kick the PAT, Kyle Courier, the 6-foot junior, who is a phenomenal kicker. Here comes the snap, the PAT up and right down Broadway, and the Giants go up by 7. 1:31 left to go in the opening half. It's Giants 14, Indians 7. We're back in 30 seconds with the kickoff. This is the Class 4A Sectional 20 Championship, live from Marion, Indiana.
Welcome back to downtown Marion as we continue and wrap up the second quarter. Indians 7, Giants 14.
Courier to kick off to the Indians, Ryan Scott. The Indians do get the ball at half, so that is good. This one a squib kick, get a bounce. Carson picks it up. He's at the 35, or 25 out across to the 30 and brought down at the 32, and that's where the Indians take over on offense. And for Coach Funk and the Indians, you do not want to turn the ball over here because you do get the ball back at halftime. So
1:25 left to play in the second quarter.
If I'm Coach Funk and the Indians, I do everything that I can to be conservative and not make a mistake here, because if you give the ball to the Giants in their, in your own territory and a chance to score again before the half, it is bad news bears for you.
Yeah, if you're the Indians, continue to keep the ball on the ground and play smart football. That's what it comes down to, is playing smart football.
Bennett in the shotgun for the first time, and now he goes out to the wide receiver position. A new formation here for the Indians.
Slots are filled.
Campbell
goes up the middle and will be still standing and will finally get dropped.
So Cade Campbell, a gain of about 4 or 5, and Brendan Martin makes the stop. So we'll see, but I believe Ryan Scott Eastbrook up 21-0 over Eastern. So good news for Jeff Adamson and the Panthers as we root them on. I believe we got a player down, and we do, and that is a bad sight. We do not like to see anyone get hurt, and I believe that could be number 14, Antonio Brown. So with the injury timeout, we step aside for a 60-second timeout. 14-7 Giants, 1:02 left. We're back in 60 seconds from Marion, Indiana.
Welcome back. Antonio Brown is escorted off the field and will be treated.
So the Indians, a gain of 6 on that last offensive play. 1 minute and 2 seconds left to go. Now the clock starts. We're down to under a minute and the time's running. Here's Campbell. He will take the snap. Look, now throw. John Hall, pass complete.
And he could go to the home side, and he is dropped down.
So now the Indians march into Giant territory. They've got to hurry to the line because the clock continues to run, I believe. 45 seconds now down, and the clock is running.
And the Indians have to hurry here. They have to hurry. The Indians are taking their time.
Indians running out of time. Bennett now back. Now he rolls out to the wide receiver position. Oh, my goodness, 30 seconds to go.
The Indians can pull something off. Campbell goes up, he leaps, and he's on top of somebody.
He is brought down, and I believe the Indians take a timeout, so the clock should stop. The clock stops, but I think they're going to have to put more time on the clock because the officials were waving. So a timeout on the field. I believe it's going to be 24 seconds left to go in the opening half. 14-7 Giants. We're back after this 30-second timeout. Ryan Scott.
The clock will be set to 22.5. 22.5 will be the time on the scoreboard.
And the clock is not running now because there was a timeout. Ethan Bennett back in the shotgun formation.
And the Indians have to do something here. Ethan Bennett calls for it. He goes, and he will go. Ball will be loose, and the Indians
pass
recover.
was intended for Lutke, but it is knocked away and incomplete. 17 seconds now on the clock. 3rd down and 8. Like I said, Ryan Scott, you do not want to turn the ball over.
Yeah, you
I
can't.
don't care how much time's on the clock.
Exactly. You can't turn the ball over at this moment.
I would almost assume that they're going to run the ball here, but you never know. But I think if it was me, I would run the ball and take it to the half. Here's Bennett out to pass. He's under pressure, and he goes down. And that's exactly what you did not want, but they did not turn the ball over, so the Indians will go into the halftime break down a touchdown. So at the halftime break, it's Marion 14, Mississinewa 7. The second half comes your way next. It's Giants 14, Indians 7, and it is live here from Marion High School for the Class 4A Sectional 20 Championship.
You're watching the IHSA Sectional number 20 Championship presented by the Indianapolis Colts. Welcome back to Marion High School as we are about 2 minutes away until the start of the third quarter. We thank you all for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. We are at number 500 for the broadcast. So thank you all to the 500-plus people that can put up and listen to Dalton I's voice for 48 minutes.
Yeah, it's honestly a blessing, for someone like me, who graduated a few years ago, to be able to have the opportunity to come back and do, these football and basketball games with you, Ryan. It's honestly a blast and an honor for me to be able to do that. And, we have 24 minutes left, and we decide who's going on and who's, focusing on basketball. So, it's honestly been one heck of a football game both ways. Marion's done some great things. Mississinewa's done some great things. The Indians take the ball, and they will get it here to start the second half. So,
yeah, like you and I were talking just a few moments ago, the Indians have to do something here. They either have to get good field position or they have to get into the red zone and score a touchdown. They have to here.
Yeah, I think to start the second half, you want to come out with the guns blazing like you did against Delta. And, it's only just a matter of time, and we will get to see what they've got. So 24 minutes to decide it, Ryan, and I don't really know. I'm kind of at a loss of words because this has been such a great football game. Marion's a very strong football team, and they have proven that, already. They went to the semi-state last year, so they know how to get things done as well. So, Coach Funk and the Indians, they know how to get things done, but it's just a matter of time, Ryan Scott, just a matter of time.
I'd like to give a huge birthday to head coach Jeff Adamson as he is putting a beating on Eastern Greentown on his birthday. So a very happy birthday to Mr. Jeff Adamson.
Jeff Adamson, one of the best coaches throughout the state of Indiana. A lot of success for him and the Panthers.
For sure, and they are looking to advance to the 2A regional.
Meanwhile, things not so good for the Madison Grant Argyles as South Adams is stretching the lead out on the Argyles. But you know what? Brady Turner and that football team has done a phenomenal job getting things back for the Argyles.
For sure. At the start of the sectional play, they won their first sectional game in 9 years.
The Argyles started 0-7 and then had the opportunity, it's just humbling. It should be for them, and they should not hang their heads because it should be very, very humbling for them to be playing for a sectional championship here tonight.
Well, the Indians have made their way to the field, and they are waiting the Giants to get the third quarter underway in Marion.
Well, Ryan Scott, like you said, the Indians need to come out and get some momentum rolling, and it's do or die, it's win or go home, and they've got 24 minutes, but I don't know. I don't really know, Ryan. It's just there's not really much to say other than they've got to play football.
Now the Indians have, like we just talked about, we're going back to it because this is how important it is. The Indians have to do something here, and we will see what they do. Indians send one to the backfield.
Kyle Courier will kick off for the Giants. He lines up on the far right side of the field. Drew Castanon back very, very deep to receive the kick, and then Carson Campbell, and I think that is Elijah Standridge, the other two. Here comes the kick from Courier. It's a line drive. It takes a bounce, and we've got a offsides against the Giants, so the Indians going to get a break there. So the Giants will have to back up and re-kick again, but I've seen the leg of Kyle Courier, and he has got a boot.
So the Giants will back it up.
So here we go. We will start the second half again.
The clock will reset to 12 minutes.
Like I said just a moment ago, Kyle Courier's got the talent and definitely got the leg to pin one back deep. He backs up, eyes the football before he sends it flying through the air.
Still one in the backfield for Mississinewa, sends it a burner, and the Indians will bobble it. Will pick it up, goes up the middle to the home or the far side. Ball is dropped, and the Indians could. Let's see if they are recovered.
My goodness, things could have got very, very out of hand there. The ball went out of bounds, and I don't know. I think the Indians got it, but that could have been bad news for Ole Miss. That was Elijah Standridge on the return. The ball was knocked loose, and I think Kyler Funk was the one who dove on it to recover. And now the Indians with a chance to tie here in the opening possession of the second half. Bennett under the center. Cade Campbell, 96 yards officially in the first half.
Ball will be snapped on first down.
No, that was Campbell.
Goes up the middle, and it could be gone. It's a track meet. And Campbell is going, and he steps out of bounds.
A huge play for the Indians to start the second half. They march down into Giant territory before the speedster J.K. Thomas ran Cade Campbell out of bounds. But just like that, Kurt Funk and the Indians knocking on the door of scoring here to start the second half.
Indians will move, chains will move, and Coach Crick is happy.
I thought Bennett was under the center, but there again,
I thought so too.
The Indians start in the Wildcat formation, and a huge block up front for the Indians' offensive line opened up a huge hole for Cade Campbell. Again in the Wildcat formation. Carson in the slot position. He sends Carson in motion, and now Campbell going to keep it up the middle. He was tripped up by number 9, David Jones. A nice stop there for the Giants. Second down and 7, a gain of 3 for Cade Campbell. And I think now Andrew Cruz is going to come in to be the quarterback. The Indians always switching things up offensively, but it keeps the other team on their heels, and it is Andrew Cruz at the quarterback position. He takes the snap, and he's going to keep it and go up the middle, dive forward out across to the 10-yard line. A gain of 2. Maybe it looks like a gain of 2, but I think he might have got a little bit more than that. A gain of 5.
It'll be 3rd and 3 with the ball on the 15 for the Tribe.
Cade Campbell re-enters the game. He goes to the sideline, gets a drink of water, and right back in he comes. So now Andrew Cruz goes back to the tight end position. Cade Campbell back in the Wildcat formation. Carson Campbell the slot position to the far side.
Giants will try to catch him off. Campbell goes into motion, goes up in the middle, and will be dropped down.
He was tripped up there by number 2, D'Angelo Jones, who's been very active tonight for the Giants. But I think it's a first down for the Indians, and it is. It's going to be first down and goal. Cade Campbell over 100 yards easily rushing. I do not know the exact number, but no doubt in my mind, at least close to 120. He was 96 in the first half and a huge run there.
1st and 5, ball will be placed on the 5-yard line for the Tribe.
So Campbell again, watch his brother Carson this time I thought he was going to come in motion, but now Cade gets a huge block up front. I think leading the charge on that block was number 79, Skylar Tackett. He definitely got 2 or 3 on that carry.
Brought down by number 8, Trevor Stone. Second down, Indians.
9:32 to play in the third quarter. Indians look to get in the end zone here. Second down, 3 to go. Ball will be on the 3.
Campbell again. Watch his brother. We'll see if he goes in motion.
Carson goes into motion. Fakes it, goes up the middle. Cade Campbell, and will be dropped out.
I think he was stopped a yard short from scoring that touchdown. It'll bring up 3rd and 1 or 2. Antonio Brown, who was banged up a little bit earlier, making the stop there for the Giants. Andrew Cruz in at the quarterback position. I can almost guarantee
The Indians are just trying to push through. The Indians, all they want is to push through, and they do.
Andrew Cruz dives forward. He walks it into the end zone.
And it's a touchdown, Indians.
It's almost no doubt when he gets the ball that close, it's going to be a touchdown with a big push from the offensive line led by Skylar Tackett and Kyler Funk in behind him. They push him in, and Andre Soliday to try to tie things up with the PAT.
Andre Soliday, the boot himself.
He's been perfect pretty much all year.
Hold by Lukey. It is up, and it's all knotted up at 14 apiece.
So Ryan Scott, like we talked about at the halftime break, when the Indians get the ball, we've got to drive down the field and make a big play offensively, and a huge run by Cade Campbell sets him up for an Andrew Cruz 3-yard quarterback keeper, and we are tied at 14 with 8:48 left to go in the third. So now Ryan Scott, defensively for the Indians, they come back out onto the field, and they have had no answer for Khalid Stamps. So we will see. Tied at 14 apiece. 8:48 to go in the third. Like I said, Ryan, defensively you've got to contain Khalid Stamps, but something interesting, J.K. Thomas yet to rush the ball.
Yeah, for sure. We even talked to Jim Brunner, and he's surprised that J.K. Thomas has not touched the ball at least once yet.
Tied at 14. It's going to be Thomas and Stamps
Andre
back.
Soliday will set for the punt.
This one high, booming in the air. This one's going to be caught by Thomas. J.K. out across to the 15 to the 20, 25, 30 down the sideline and ran out of bounds at the 35-yard line. So a big return there for J.K. Thomas. He sets the Giants up in pretty good field position, and Keyshawn Taylor leads the Giant offense back onto the field. I cannot believe, J.K. Thomas has yet to rush the ball, but, why go away from something you're having success doing, and that's giving it to Stamps and Keyshawn Taylor. And not only can Taylor rush the ball, he's made some pretty good passes to Braxton Delgado. So again, trip receivers to the far side of the field. Keyshawn Taylor in the shotgun formation. He will look, and a flag. There might have been some movement. So maybe too many men on the field is what we are hearing, but we will see. Timeout, Mississinewa. No flag on the play, so 8:41 left to go in the third quarter, tied at 14. We're back in 30 seconds. Welcome back to Marion High School. Ryan Scott, the Indians getting a break there.
Yeah, for sure. The Indians got a huge break here. 8:41 to play in the third quarter, and it's knotted up at 14.
So here we go. J.K. Thomas on this side, two receivers to the far side. It is Keyshawn Taylor back in the shotgun. He's your quarterback with Khalid Stamps right behind him. Taylor will get the snap and hand off to Stamps, and he is met there at the line of scrimmage before diving forward, a gain of 2, and he was met by number 5, Jaheim Johnson. So second down and 8 for the Marion Giants.
Ball will be placed on the 38 for the Giants.
So here we go. Keyshawn Taylor back. We'll take the snap, turn, hands off. Here's Stamps. Stamps going to run up the middle, get the first down, and dive forward out across to midfield. So just like that, the Indians have some momentum offensively, and here come the Giants fighting right back. So they're going to mark it at the 49-yard line on the Giants' side of the field. J.K. Thomas, yet again, still not to rush the football, and I do not understand because he is such an outstanding athlete. But like I said, things are working. Taylor going to keep it and go up the middle before he is ran out of bounds. Let's see who that was. I think that was Andrew Cruz and number 15, John Hall, getting up. So, this is not good news for Marion. A man down. That is number 71, Martave Smith. So, injury timeout with 7:42 left to go in the third. tied at 14. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Welcome back to Marion High School as the training staff attending to Martave Smith. He is down on the field, and Ryan Scott, you know, we talked about it at half. The Indians needed some momentum to tie things up, and they get a huge run, and they scored the touchdown on an Andrew Cruz quarterback keeper, and Soliday nails the PAT. We are tied at 14, 7:42 left to go in the third, and the Giants driving the ball down the field. What do you look here defensively for Mississinewa?
For Mississinewa, you have to get good stops. You have to have good field position, and you can't let them gain yardage. Even though if it's 2 or 3, you can't have them do that.
You know, and something that we have saw that has been successful has been that wildcat formation offensively for Mississinewa, but right now defensively having no answer for the Giants.
For sure.
So the good news is Smith is up, but the bad news, unfortunately, and like I said, we do not like to see this, he is in some serious pain and going to be helped off the field. So we hope for the best for that young man. You definitely can tell he's in some pain, so we hope for the Giants that he is maybe just, you got a stinger and can get back in there, but they're going to carry him off the field, Ryan Scott. That is not a good sight. So now, it is the next man up for the Giants. Like I said, Ryan Scott, there's going to be ups and downs throughout the football season, but it is how you battle back with that adversity.
Exactly. You have to figure out ways to get around that, even though you are down a player.
Taylor going to air one out. He's got a man. Braxton Delgado. A beautiful pass completed. A nice throw from Keyshawn Taylor. He connects to Braxton Delgado. He walks into the end zone, and the Giants regain the lead at 20-14. What a beautifully drawn up play there for Marion, and they take the lead 20-14, 7:34 left to go in the third.
Marion will set for the extra point.
Kyle Courier on to attempt it. Ryan, like we talked about, you've got to find an answer defensively.
Exactly.
Courier to attempt the PAT. The snap, the hold, the kick, right through the center, and the Giants go up 7. 21-14 the score. Giants up 7, 7:34 left to go in the third. We come back in 30 seconds with the kickoff. This is the IHSAA Sectional 20 Championship coverage live from Marion High School. Well, Ryan Scott back here at Marion High School, and a silencer to the Indians crowd on a beautiful drawn-up play and a perfect pass from Keyshawn Taylor to Braxton Delgado. Kyle Courier going to kick the ball off for the Giants. Drew Castanon, Cade Campbell, and Carson Campbell all back. A squib kick again. This one bounces and picked up by Cade Campbell. He's out across to the 25 and tripped up instantly by number 5. Like I said, his last name Burnett, but we don't have a first name.
Tell you what, Dalton, for the Indians, and if you are the Indians, you have to score here. You have to get yardage here if you're the Indians.
Yeah, so now the Indians, they were buried back up deep in their own territory, and we saw Cade Campbell break loose for a big play, but who's to say that happens again? So 21-14 here in the third. Campbell again in a Wildcat formation. Drew Castanon comes in motion to this side. Campbell taking a long time. Takes the snap and hands it off to Carson Campbell around the outside.
Carson Campbell goes on the far side and runs out of bounds.
J.K. Thomas forcing him out of bounds on the near side of the field. And the Indians with a first down there. What an outstanding job here for Mississinewa. So again, Cade Campbell taking the snap. He cuts inside, spin move, breaks the tackle, and a gain of about 4. So as long as the Indians can keep getting blocks and they can keep driving down the field, that is what you want. This is a wild, wild football game. Two of the best teams in the state of Indiana dueling it out for the Sectional 20 championship.
It's the round of 16, and only one team gets to move on to next week's regional against the winner of East Noble and Leo.
Carson Campbell in motion, fakes the handoff. Here's Cade, jumps over one, a first down, driving up the field.
It's a first down and more, and he drops down.
So how about that? Just like we talked about Ryan Scott, you've got to get some blocks up front, and here comes the Campbell duo.
The brother duo will make some quick work here, and the Indians are marching down to the red zone.
How about this? What an outstanding football game. If you are not here, we thank you for tuning in, and you are watching a heck of a football game. So here we go. Campbell casting on in motion. To this side of the field, Campbell will take the snap now. He gets it. Hands off to Carson Campbell. He goes, cuts inside of a block, gets a huge block there from Kyler Funk, but he was lit up and stood up by number 17, Brendan Martin, the 6'6", 220-pound senior. Brendan Martin been all over the field defensively for the Giants.
5:55 and counting here in the third quarter.
So here you go, Ryan. You've got to get a score. You've got to get a score.
Yeah,
Whether
you're on
it's a
second
field goal,
down. You have 8 to go. You have to get yardage here. You have to get into the red zone.
whether you get a field goal or you get a touchdown, everything matters in this type of a football game. Second down and 8. Carson Campbell in motion. Campbell, this is Cade. He keeps it, goes up the middle, a gain of about 3. Third down and about, I think it's going to be 4. But if Ryan Scott, if you do not get this, you've got to go for it on fourth down.
Oh, you have to, exactly.
You're in 4-down territory. If you can, even if you don't get it, the Giants are pinned pretty deep. Third down and 5. Cade Campbell goes up the middle, tripped up, and now a flag, and I think it's going to be a hold against the Indians.
Holding against Mississinewa.
It was. I thought I saw Kyler Funk have a hold of somebody's jersey, and I think the penalty may have been declined, and it's going to bring up fourth down.
You have to go for it if you're Mississinewa. You have to find ways to get into the red zone at this point into the ball game. You have to find ways to score.
No, they accepted the penalty, so I think it's going to be a replay of third down. Ryan, I think this is where you bring in your quarterback, Ethan Bennett, maybe throw a short pass to get it a little bit more manageable.
You only have 5 yards for another first down.
A little bit farther than that. It's 15, third and 15 now with that penalty.
Third and 15. Scoreboard was wrong.
Gaston on in motion. Cade looks, will get the snap. He's going to roll out, and he's going to throw. John Hall with the catch out to the 30 and push forward to the 25. He was close to a first down, but ran out of bounds. And he asked for the Indian fans to rise to their feet, and they do.
He says rise, and they say yes, sir, and the Indians fans are fired up.
A fourth down and 1, whereas Andrew Cruz. It's almost undeniable. Let's see here. Clock has stopped with the pass completion to Hall, and he was knocked out of bounds. 4th and 1, a huge play here. Cade Campbell in the Wildcat formation. The Giants going to send their entire team. Here we go. The snap. Campbell.
And they get it, and it's more than one.
Cade Campbell down to the 15, 14, and gonna be dropped, I think, at the 13. A first down for the Indians, and they are deep into Giant territory. How about this football game? Two teams absolutely throwing knockout punches at each other. It's who can last the longest is who's gonna win this one. Ball on the 14-yard line, 1st and 10. Campbell and the Wildcat.
Campbell will look.
Carson.
Sends him in motion. Goes up the middle, and it's a gain of 1 or 2.
He was tripped up by number 20 for the Giants. That was Juan Ramirez. 3:45 and counting left to go in the 3rd quarter. You are watching an outstanding football game. D'Angelo Jones on the sideline, going to get some attention from the athletic staff. Campbell looks over the defense. Now calls out the play.
2nd and 6 on the 10. Sends Carson Campbell into motion on the far side, and there will be multiple flags.
A false start on the Indians. Just what you didn't want. That was Kyler Funk jumping off sides for the Indians. 3:20 left to go in the 3rd. Marion up a touchdown. Meanwhile, throughout the other county schools, Eastbrook tearing up Eastern. Looks like they will probably advance. And bad news for the Madison Grand Argyles as they are losing to South Adams. But what a great job Brady Turner has done with that football team.
Sends Carson Campbell in motion to their side, pitches it off to him, going to the far side. He could be gone. He could be in the end zone. He's in the end zone for a touchdown, Indians.
What a great job there. The Indians have sold it perfectly. Just when the Giants thought Cade had it, Carson Campbell, his brother, dives forward into the end zone. But Ryan Scott, a very important kick on the way. A PAT coming from Andre Soliday. And like I said earlier, but I do not want to jinx him, he has been almost perfect this season.
Yeah, we have said it all season long. When you get the brother duo of Cade and Carson Campbell together, good things will happen. Andre Soliday, Bryce Lukey for the hold. It's up and good.
It is good. So Ryan Scott, 2:52 left to go in the 3rd quarter, and we have a doozy. It's 21-21, Mississinewa and Marion playing for the Class 4A Sectional 20 Championship. And across the way, the red and white crowd rise to their feet, and they are absolutely fired up. Go ahead and step aside for 30 seconds, come back with the kickoff as the Giants get the ball back on offense. Welcome back to Marion High School. Ryan Scott, we talked about it and talked about it and talked about it. Who can last the longest?
Exactly.
Survival of the fittest. So here,
2:52 left to play in the 3rd quarter, and it's all knotted up at 21 apiece.
we saw the same thing a season ago in Gas City, where both of these teams battled back and forth, possession after possession, and the Giants knocked the Indians out of the tournament a season ago. The Indians look for redemption, though, here tonight. We are tied at 21. Soliday with the boot of all boots, getting ready to send one deep.
The orange shoes go up, and it is a short and low, and the Indians will, the Giants will run it back.
Ryan, I'm going to tell you, I do not like when the Indians try to almost like an onside kick, but the Indians like kick it in the air high, way up in the air, and then it just drops. You give the Giants too good a field position when you do that. When you've got somebody with the talent of Andre Soliday, why not try to pin them deep? That was Khalid Stamps on the carry for the Giants, and he was met by Jaheim Johnson and John Hall. So Stamps a gain of about 5. 2.5 minutes left in the third. Keyshawn Taylor will look for the snap. He gets it. He hands off to Stamps around the right side, gets a block, and is still running and being brought down by number 15, John Hall. John Hall been very active on the defensive end for the Indians, but still no answer for Khalid Stamps and the Giants. Holy cow. Ryan, I've told you all week long, whoever has the ball last on offense is who's going to win this game.
Exactly.
Stamps driving up the middle, and a gain of about 7 or 8, and he's brought down by Jaheim Johnson, but it takes no time for the Giants. They start deep, and they end up all the way down to the red zone, and they are driving here. 2 minutes left to go in the third. Taylor handing off. This is Stamps around the left side and being drove out of bounds by number 20, Bryce Ludke. Jaheim Johnson and Andrew Cruz also on the pursuit of Stamps. We have yet to see J.K. Thomas run the football, but that doesn't mean he will not touch the ball before the game's over. Last possession for the Giants, a beautiful pass about in this area from Taylor to Delgado on a touchdown pass. Here is Taylor. He's going to keep it up the middle, and he will probably, I thought he was going to walk into the end zone, and that was Tay McClung to stop him. It's first down and goal for the Giants. 1:45 left to go in the third. An absolute barn burner here tonight. If you are a high school football fan and you are not enjoying this, I don't know what to tell you. This is Burnett on the keep. Going to be stopped short. It's got to be inches, I think. That was Bryce Ludke there to meet him. It is going to be second in probably millimeters. All they got to do is turn hand, and it's probably going to be a touchdown unless somebody can get in the backfield. Here's the handoff. Stamps, the ball's dropped, and Taylor falls on it, so the Indians catch another break. Ryan Scott, what a huge testament it would be to this Indians defense to maybe hold the Giants from scoring a touchdown. Holy cow. The ball on the 5-yard line. Keyshawn Taylor in the backfield along with Khalid Stamps. Third down and 5. Clock running under a minute to go in the third. Turns, Stamps hands off, and he is wrapped up. Wrapped up by number 15, John Hall, and it brings up fourth down and goal. And now it is obviously 4-down territory.
Yep.
What a huge stop this would be for Ole Miss.
Yeah, if the Indians can get this stop, this house can erupt. Let's see what the Indians can do here.
The Indian fans rise to their feet on the far side, cheering the Indians on to try to get a stop. But, oh my, Khalid Stamps has been almost untouchable here tonight. They're going to let the clock run down, and that is going to be the end of the third quarter. At the end of 3, we are knotted up at 21. We've got a doozy with 12 minutes to go. Ryan Scott to decide who goes on and whose season is over. We're back in 60 seconds with the fourth quarter. This is the IHSAA Sectional 20 Championship from Marion, Indiana. Welcome back to Marion, Indiana. Ryan Scott, it's 4th down and goal, and we've got 1 quarter to decide who wins the championship trophy. And unfortunately for one of these teams, their football season comes to an end.
4th and goal. 4th and goal for Marion.
12 minutes remaining. Taylor and Stamps all in the backfield. You might look here. I don't know what's coming, but it's going to be something absolutely wild. Here is Taylor. Turns, hands off to Stamps, hit in the backfield.
And he's still up. He's still up.
The Indians stop him.
Indians stop. A big stop. A big stop for the Indians.
Kyler Funk there with an initial hit. And how about that? Jaheim Johnson with the final stop along with Jason Arbogast. And Johnson gets up, looks at his teammates, flexes the muscles, and says, no, 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 it's time for us to come down the field.
Holy cow, a big stop for the Tribe.
The Indians literally buried, and absolutely buried, deep in their own territory. But how about that? We talked about it, and what a testament it would be for that defense. They should be proud of themselves. But now you've got to find a way to get out of the goal, or the end zone. I don't know, goal. I'm talking soccer here. Only 8 seconds into the 4th quarter. Still a long ways to go in this one. Andrew Cruz is going to be under center, I'm sure, just to gain a few yards. Cruz will take the snap and be shoved forward and still going. He keeps the legs rolling, a gain of about 2 or 3.
The semi plows through, and the Indians gain yardage. 2nd down for the Tribe.
A gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. Now re-entering comes Carson Campbell, Mr. Do-It-All he has been throughout this tournament. He's definitely well over 200 yards for the entire game. Campbell in a Wildcat formation. Carson Campbell to the near side. In the slot position, he goes
Campbell
in motion.
goes to the visitor's side. The ball goes up the middle and will be a gain of 1, if not none.
Aiden Fisher there to wrap up Cade Campbell. Like you said, Ryan, probably only one. It was 3rd down and 5 now. This, like we said, I've told you earlier, and you have been right there to agree. 3rd downs is where they have succeeded.
Oh, most definitely.
Carson Campbell the last time broke one out for a big run. The Giant fans come to life here.
Indians have to get this here.
10 seconds on the play clock. The clock's still ticking. Drew Cassinon goes in motion. Play clock down to 3. And Campbell will take the snap.
Campbell goes to the far side. He looks for it and will throw it away.
I thought Drew Cassinon might have had a chance to catch that one, but it brings up 4th down, 3 and out. A good defensive stance there for the Giants. And now, obviously, the Indians get a punt, and Andre Soliday to do the honors. You know, we've talked about it. I can't say it enough. I'm sure I'm probably driving some people crazy because I just keep repeating myself. But whoever is the strongest wins this game. Whoever can outlast the other opponent. Neither one of these teams are just going to give up and say, here you go. So here we go. 10:21 left to go in the 4th. Tied at 21.
Marion will send 2 to the backfield.
That is Stamps and Thomas. Soliday. The snap. Here comes the punt. It bounces the 30 and then rolls out of bounds. And the Giants start with absolutely great field position. I don't think it matters, but after seeing the Indians on defense that last time, we will see. We will see, Ryan Scott. I am absolutely fired up, and I'm at a loss of words because this is definitely probably one of the best football games that I have seen in person. So, Keyshawn Taylor in the backfield with Khalid Stamps. J.K. Thomas in a slot position to this side of the field. On the far side is Braxton Delgado. Taylor will keep it, cuts inside, and breaks a tackle before being brought down by number 23, Carson Campbell. You know, Keyshawn Taylor has got to have pretty close to 100 yards rushing
Almost definitely.
and at least 50 passing yards. He has done a phenomenal job here tonight. You know, J.K. Thomas, I cannot believe this. I just heard Jim Brunner say 0 rushing yards for J.K. Thomas. That is unheard of. Unheard of, Ryan Scott.
Jim Brunner is not a happy Jim Brunner right now.
Just like
Ball
that.
will go to the far side, and it will run out of bounds.
Just when you say that, he gets a carry, but I don't think he went anywhere because he was forced out of bounds by number 20, Bryce Lutke, coming upfield to make the stop, and it's 3rd down and 5.
3rd and 5.
Holy cow, Ryan Scott. Just before 9 o'clock, and you are watching an absolute barn burner with 9.5 minutes to go. This is for the Sectional 20 Championship in a date next week with East Noble or Leo, whoever wins that game. Taylor is under pressure.
He's still under pressure. He's going to take it by himself, and he will go up the middle.
There's a flag all the way down back here.
And an Indian is down.
That was Jason Arbogast, but a flag on the field, and Arbogast definitely felt that one. Boy, I'm telling you, there's 2 flags, and I definitely think at least this one back here is on Marion. I block in the back.
Yeah, this one back here has to be on Marion.
But I don't know about this one. My goodness gracious.
And let's see what the call.
Holding on the Giants. And personal foul on the Giants.
Yep, holding against Marion. And a personal foul against Marion.
It's a blindside
okay.
block. But I told you, Jason Arbogast felt every bit of that one. He is over there getting checked out. He's probably thinking he's in Gas City, but really he's in Marion. That ball got moved way, way back. That's a 15-yard penalty, and the ball back on the Giant 45-yard line. It is 3rd down and a country mile.
3rd down and 25.
Holy cow, what a change of events.
This is going to be huge for the Tribe.
If I'm the secondary for the Indians, I'm backing way up looking for a pass. You don't want anything to get behind you. If it gets in front, you can always make it a stop. Taylor rolling out. He's going to throw, and a pass incomplete. Jaheim Johnson on the pursuit of him, putting some pressure on him. And I'm telling you, you may not have said Jaheim Johnson's name a lot making tackles, but he has been very active causing fits for the Giants here tonight. Now, J.K. Thomas going to go back to punt. A good defensive stance for the Indians,
for
Ryan
sure.
Scott.
Most definitely. The Indians couldn't win anything better. 9:15 left to play in regulation.
These guys have absolutely thrown knockout punches at each other, trying to do everything they can to be able to play next week. This is unbelievable, Ryan. Play clock. Oh, high snap, and Thomas will punt. This one high, straight in the air.
And everybody will back alleyway. Caden Cole will go to the sideline.
It takes an Indian bounce, but the Indians start in their own territory. So now, again, you set up a situation where if you score, you rely on defense.
Yeah.
If you don't score, you rely on defense. Coach Steve Wilson for the Indians has said it best. Defense, defense, defense. That's what wins championships.
Exactly, and I think, actually he just said that in the calling room. He repeated defense 3 times through the mic.
I heard him against Delta when the Indians won that game and held Delta to 7 points. I heard him say, defense wins. And so far,
Yep. 9:15 played in regulation. Carson Campbell heads to their side. A leap by
Cade
Cade Campbell, and he's out in the open.
First down and a gain of about 18 for Cade Campbell, carrying the Indians on his back. The dude has ice in his veins. He has virtually taken the football and has done it single-handedly, but I don't mean that literally single-handedly, because what a great job the offensive line has done blocking for him. The guys up front doing work. Campbell following the blockers, this time being met by number 4, Tyvon Coleman, the 5'9 junior. He didn't get much of anything there. I have not yet seen Jason Arbogast. There he is. He is back on the field.
Yep, there he is.
Good to see him back on the field. He is a senior leader for this football team, a 6'1", 290-pound senior.
8:25 in counting in regulation.
So much on the line for both of these teams.
2nd and 8 for the Tribe. Cade Campbell behind the ball. He will send his brother into motion, goes to their side, pitches it off to him to the far side, and Carson Campbell is up the middle, and he's dropped.
I think he dove forward, maybe a yard short. If not, he's got the first. Let's see where they mark it.
And it's a first down, Indiana.
Yep, it's a first down. And now the Indians on the Giants side of the field. But, you know, normally in a regular football game, you would say, well, we're on their side of the field. We're marching down to score.
Right, exactly.
But when you get to sectional time, especially against a star-studded team like the Marion Giants have, you cannot ever guarantee anything.
It's first down for the Indians. Ball will be on the 46. Carson Campbell starts it to our side. Goes into motion, heads to their side, looks for the pitch. No, Cade Campbell takes it up the middle, and he could be gone. It could be a track meet. It could be. And he is in the red zone.
Are you kidding me, Ryan?
A good
Scott?
run for the Tribe. And it was sure a track meet, and Cade Campbell was gone.
Cade Campbell. There is 3 letters that I have to say. MVP. Period. He has done it all tonight, putting the team on his back. He posted earlier, I saw it on social media. As a little kid, he has prayed for moments like this, and he is living up to it, every bit of it here tonight.
This is what you call living the dream. Cade Campbell calls, and he will rush inside, and do they get it? That's the question.
If not, he is a yard short, and you know what's happening if he is.
Well, they're just going to push through, and that's what they will do. Skylar Tackett and Jason Arbogast were on top of each other, and they will reline.
Andrew Cruz, again, going to go under center. I knew that was a no-brainer.
And, well, we know what this is going to happen, so we can let this play out.
He's had 2 touchdowns tonight, a total of probably 8 yards. Cruz.
And they are in.
Touchdown for Andrew Cruz and Ryan Scott. The Indians have answered the call, being down a touchdown at halftime to going up a touchdown with 6:24 left here in the 4th.
27-21, the Tribe takes the lead. 6:24 left to play in regulation.
Andre Soliday on to kick the PAT. So here we go. Soliday up.
Kick is up. The orange shoes is up, and it is good.
Ryan Scott. 6:24 to go. Indian Nation on the far side to their feet, and the players fired up on this side. The Giants have yet to give up, and they get the ball on offense here in just a few moments. But Ryan, with 6:24 left, you tell me what you think needs to happen.
At this point, it's all down to what it starts with, and that is defense. The Indians have to have strong defense. They have to play strong defense, and they can't let the Giants get yardage.
Coach Funk said yesterday afternoon at practice, if you want to win, you have to play the best game you've played all year. And whether they win or lose tonight, this is no doubt the best team the Indians have played all year, and no doubt the best game they have played all year.
Andre Soliday will set up for the punt. Marion will send 2 to the backfield.
This time, Ryan Scott, I think you try to kick one deep and stop playing games with the Giants.
And that's what he does. He sends it deep, and can it be deep enough?
Here's J.K. Thomas.
J.K. Thomas kind of stops there for a few seconds, goes out of bounds.
Goes out of bounds at about the 28-29, and the Giants come back out on the field on offense. And, you know, like you said, defense wins championships, and can the Indians' defense hold for another possession here? Meanwhile, throughout Grant County, we want to say, I don't know if it's officially over yet, but Jeff Adamson and the Panthers were ahead and way ahead of Eastern. If so, and they do hold on, Jeff Adamson doing what he does best, and that is win. Meanwhile, for Madison Grant, unfortunately, their season going to come to an end, but they should not hang their heads because Brady Turner has done great things over there at Madison Grant.
Marion will go up the middle, will be dropped down.
That was Khalid Stamps. He was brought down by number 15, John Hall, and John Hall has to have 12 or 13 tackles tonight. 6 minutes to go. Ryan Scott, we inch closer to deciding this one.
We will talk a little bit as the time clicks down. What's the Tribe Sports Network playing for the postgame show?
Stamps, Matt at the line. Guess who? Jaheim Johnson. Meanwhile, Madison Grant down to South Adams, 47-14. So here we go. The Indians' defense has been phenomenal tonight. 3rd and 2.
4-3-2, and they get it off. Marion will fall back. They will fall back, and they will take it by themselves to the home side, and they will step out of bounds.
Taylor, the keeper on the play, runs down all the way to the Indians' 45-yard line. That's enough for a Giants first down.
So, Ryan, the Giants get a first down there. The Indians' defense is going to have to step up.
Winner of this game will be traveling to Kendallville, Indiana, to play East Noble. The #1 team in the state just won a close one, 14-7 over Leo.
So, if you heard that in the background, East Noble
Take it
won.
up the middle, and will be dropped down.
Ryan Scott, I just heard Jim Brunner say, and I'm sure you heard it, but for the fans who are at home, whoever wins this game will be traveling. I don't know for sure, but I'm almost sure the Indians will host if they win. But if not, they will be traveling to Kendallville, Indiana to take on East Noble, who played a very hard-fought match.
Yeah, that was a
to
close
Leo.
match.
So East Noble wins. Anyway, here we go. Keyshawn Taylor turned around. The Giants had no clue what was going on.
He is lost, and he takes it up.
Jaheim Johnson making the stop, but Ryan on a play where Khalid Stamps and anybody else had no clue what was going on. That is what the Giants are good at. Keyshawn Taylor making a play work for himself. This is Stamps on the outside to the 30, cuts back inside, dives forward to the 25 in a gain. I don't know. I think it was a gain of 5. 4 minutes and counting. Ryan Scott, the Indians defense, can they hold and keep the Giants out of the end zone? It's do or die here for Marion and a do or die here for Ole Miss.
3:50 left to play in regulation.
Taylor, here is Stamps, cuts inside. Kyler Funk there to slow him up, and then it's Jason Arbogast on the stop. The Giants get a first down, and they are deep into Indian territory. 3.5 minutes to go. Holy cow, Ryan Scott. Here's Taylor, hands off Stamps. He goes up the middle. Stopped. Not sure who it was. There's a flag on the play. Andrew Cruz on the stop. Let's see. Illegal motion against the Giants. That was on J.K. Thomas. And the Giants shooting themselves in the foot on that one. So, with a penalty there, the Indians defense gets a break.
Exactly.
Ryan Scott, I'm telling you what, it's days like this you dream of as a kid, and we had a chance in 2017 to call a sectional championship, and what an honor it would be to do it again. Here's a pitch outside to Stamps. He is definitely got the first down and a flag.
And there's a flag.
It's going to be a horse collar, but Stamps walked into the end zone, so the Giants will decline that. And a touchdown for Khalid Stamps with 2:55 left to go in the game, but an all-important PAT to come for Kyle Courier.
It is down to the wire.
We saw 2 years ago a shootout in Gas City with the Western Panthers and the Mississinewa Indians. Western had the ball, throws an interception. Cade Campbell gets it, and the Indians go on to win. Here tonight, the Indians up with the lead, and the Giants punch them in the mouth and go right into the end zone, and Kyle Courier with the biggest PAT of his high school career. 2:55 to go. The holder will be number 24, Braxton Delgado.
And it all comes down. One of the big factors is the holder.
Here's the snap, the hold. Courier's kick is
good.
right down the center. And we are knotted up at 28. 2:55 to go. Oh, my goodness, Ryan Scott.
We have a game here in downtown Marion.
I do not know what to say other than this football game. If you are a Giant or Indian fan and you are here in the stands, walk back outside the gate and pay again, because the price of admission, you basically just got a Super Bowl of a game for $6. If you are watching at home, thank you so much for your support, but you have missed one heck of a game in person, but you are watching at home, and I really don't know what to say other than wow. The Indians get the ball. 2:55. Do you milk the clock and try to win it at the end, or do you just drive down the field, Ryan Scott?
Yeah, you have to play smart football here. This is what it comes down to. You and I have talked about it. 2:55 left to play in regulation. It's smart football time.
This is Cade Campbell. Campbell going to be around the outside, cuts up the middle.
He's up the middle, and he drops down. And there is a flag.
No, I think that's the kicking tee.
Okay, that is the kicking tee.
I thought I saw it.
You have better eyes than I do.
Well, let me take my glasses off. But no, I thought I saw it go rolling when Courier kicked it. But here you go. 2:55 to go.
The Marion Police Department and the Grant County Sheriff's Department just stormed in. At least 10 police cars in presence tonight.
They are going to definitely keep an eye on things, escorting traffic out of here. This place is jam-flipping packed.
They have the parking lot lit up.
Cade Campbell, can he drive down the field and win for the Indians, or will the Giants knock him down? Here you go.
Carson Campbell to the far side, goes up the middle. Cade Campbell, and he is dropped down.
A gain of about 4 or 5. Ryan Scott, let's go ahead and discuss what our plans are in case something does happen.
The plan is, if Mississinewa comes on top of the scoreboard, the Tribe Sports Network has to pack up all the equipment and get back to Mississinewa High School as fast as we can for the
Here's Carson
Gas City
Campbell.
fire truck ride.
They get the first down, but he's knocked out of bounds, and the clock stops. But no, like you said, Ryan, if, a big if, IF exclamation point, if the Indians come away with this win, we will be packing things up and be in a dead straight beeline for Mississinewa High School I am driving, but I'm not going to tell you the miles per hour I'm going to be going.
But Indian fans, if you are at Gas City right now and you are at the high school down to 3rd, down to Main, back to 1st Street, you do want to watch this fire truck ride if the Indians come up top.
Here is Carson Campbell in motion. Cade, he's going to break around, and it's going to be a face mask.
There's a double flag on the play.
The Giants,
right.
Giants pointing towards the Indians, but I thought I saw a hand come across the face mask, but at the same time, Kyler Funk was in that vicinity, and there could be a hold. But there's a Giant down, but he's able to get back up, which is good news. It is a 15-yard penalty against the Giants. It was face mask.
Yep.
Ryan Scott, and now the Indians with the ball in Giant territory. Are you kidding me?
Indian fans, are you ready?
What a barn burner here. 2:14 left to go in an absolute doozy in downtown Marion, Indiana. Class 4A Sectional 20, and a lot on the line for both of these football teams. These two
First
teams.
and 10 on the 47.
These two teams, Ryan Scott, two of the best in the state. No doubt in my mind. Campbell.
Carson Campbell goes into motion to their side, goes up the middle. Cade Campbell, he breaks away, and he could get more than 5.
Let me tell you something. I don't have any numbers on Cade Campbell, but if he doesn't have 300 yards to 400 yards rushing, then I'm absolutely watched a different game. But every time he has rushed the ball, it's been 3, 4, 5, sometimes 25 yards a rush. This is unreal.
Oh,
Cade
most
Campbell,
definitely, most definitely.
no doubt in my mind, the MVP of this football game, whether the Indians win or lose.
First down, Indians. Ball on the 43. Carson Campbell goes into motion to the far side. He gets pitched, and he will go sidelining, drop down.
Ryan Scott, under 90 seconds to the side. Who wins the Sectional 20 championship, or may we go to overtime? John Harrell says 31-28 Marion. Could it be the other way around?
Indians are in good field position. Goes up the middle. Could get more.
Cade Campbell, if you're Coach Funk, you let the clock run. The clock running, under a minute to play, an Indian first down. They are in Giant territory. The Sectional 20 championship on the line. Campbell up the middle.
Campbell's up the middle.
He fell down and was tripped up. The clock stops because we are under a minute. 49.3 seconds to play in the Sectional 20 championship on the line. Ryan Scott, will we have a sectional championship for the second time in 3 years?
Let's get this thing started here. Goes into motion. Motion will hold, goes up the middle, will be dropped down.
He got lit up in a timeout for Coach Funk. Coach Funk calls a timeout.
We will let you all take a breather, and we'll come back right after this. Welcome back to Marion High School. I look to my left in the Indian calling room. They are all serious.
They are all business, Ryan Scott. And I'm telling you what. Oh my goodness, Ryan. I didn't realize this, but I look across, and we have got a Giant player down on the field. I'm not sure who it is, but that is bad news. But anyway, we hope the best for him, but Ryan Scott with 35.7 seconds left in this game I almost want to take my glasses off because I can't see
No.
without
Yeah,
them.
keep those on, please.
I can't see without them, and I don't know if I can watch the end of this because I don't know. There's just something about it, Ryan. We had an opportunity 2 years ago to call a sectional championship.
And the question is, will you and I get to call another regional championship?
I don't know, Ryan Scott. I have nightmares about the regional in Greenwood, but I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to tell you. You can't count out this Marion football team, but I will tell you this. There is a secret weapon on the far side of the field
For sure.
in the name of Andre Soliday. If you have to kick a field goal, there is no doubt in my mind if there's anybody in Grant County that could nail it, it would be number 14. This is unbelievable.
Dalton, let's send him to Lucas Oil Stadium. Let's see if we can trade or he can go in for Vinatieri for a game or two.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm a Colts fan, do or die. I love Adam Vinatieri, but I'm sorry to tell you, it's time to hang it up. But we do not really much care about the Indianapolis Colts right now. We are solely focused on this Sectional 20 Class 4A championship game between two of the very best football teams in the state of Indiana. So much on the line, Ryan Scott, and I am almost at a loss for words because this has been a phenomenal football game. These guys in purple and gold are men among boys. The guys in red and white are men among boys. If you collided these two football teams, combine them as one, they would be absolutely unstoppable, and no one in the state of Indiana would be able to beat the combined team of Marion, Mississinewa. But I'm going to tell you, like I said in the open, it is absolutely terrible that you have to, one of these teams' season has to come to an end. But you know what, Ryan? No matter who it is, neither one of these teams should be ashamed of themselves because both of these teams had great football seasons, and both of these football teams are absolutely phenomenal.
Most definitely. You know, if you win or lose, you should not be ashamed. Fans, 35 seconds left to play in regulation.
So here we go, Ryan Scott, 35.7. The Indians with the football. It's 2nd down and 8 on the Giant 13. I'm not sure if Coach Funk has any more timeouts left, but if he does, you run the ball, run the clock until it goes down.
Fans,
let me tell you something. I've got so much faith in number 14, Andre Soliday. You let him kick a game-winning field goal or a chance to win.
Most definitely. Fans, I am going to give you the warning now. Fans, turn down your volume just 2 notches because this house could erupt.
I'm going to tell you, the only thing I'm doing if the Indians win is I am packing things up.
And we are off.
And I may call the Grant County Sheriff's Department and tell them, hey, my foot is feeling a little heavy. Get the people off the street because we're coming from Mississinewa High School, and we've got business to take care of. But the game is not over. Let's
to play in regulation. Who wins and who loses?
Let's do not put the cart before the horse and jinx either one of these football teams because I'm telling you what, I know Jim Brunner hates this story, but I'm going to tell you, I hear him say it at least 30 to 40 times a year. 2008 Marion State Championship for basketball. Gordon Hayward wins on a buzzer beater. We do not want to jinx the Mississinewa Indians. So, here we go. Here we go. Both sides.
Both sides to their feet. Here we go.
Cade Campbell. Carson in motion. Cade up
Goes
the middle.
Up the middle.
He's down to the 9. Clock still ticking, Ryan Scott. Oh, my. 3rd down and 3. A timeout. We've got a timeout. Marion calls a timeout with 21.7 seconds on the clock, and we are tied at 28. Ryan, I don't know what else I can say other than I need a break. So let's take a 60-second timeout and come back to finish this one up.
Welcome back to Marion High School. 21 seconds to play. 3rd down and 3. Ball is on the 8-yard line for the Tribe. And let's see what the Tribe can do here. Holy cow.
Here we go. 21.7. Campbell.
Indians go up the middle, a gain of 1, and will be dropped down.
It's going to be 4th down, and the clock stops. Are you kidding me? Are they going to go for it on 4th down? No way. I don't think so. They are going to. I don't know. I do not know about this,
cow.
Ryan Scott.
Holy cow.
Campbell. It's a 1st down.
It's a
timeout. Oh, my goodness. Andre Soliday.
Andre Soliday, the boot himself.
Ryan Scott, I'm going to tell you something. I don't know what to say. I do not know what to say.
I just looked over at JB, and he just gave me the biggest facial expression I've ever seen.
Are you kidding me? Ryan Scott, I had a chance yesterday afternoon.
Wait, don't say it yet. Hey, don't say it yet.
To talk to you, and I told you.
Hey, no.
Number 14 is going to win this game on a last-second field goal.
Here we go. The fans could erupt here.
For the Sectional 20 championship. It's on the line. And a kick to the side. Number 14. Will he do it? The kick
is up. And it is good.
It's good!
The Indians are sectional champions. The Indians are sectional champions and will move on to the regional championship.
Are you kidding me? Ryan Scott!
The Indians will move to the regional championship next week. Holy cow.
Number 14 seals the deal. Next week, Ole Miss, another chance for a regional.
That's right.
Holy cow.
Well, we have, fans, we are so sorry we are wrapping this broadcast up fast, but we have to get back to Mississinewa High School. So long from Gas City. Dalton Bishop and myself will have the